You can teach as many as you want. So that's what we mean by teach. Build that consumer group through teaching. Really, if you get a consumer group that's up to 25 total, and each of them buys 100 volume points a month, that is a foundation to the marketing plan that is powerful.
Mm-hmm. And what you can do with that sheet in that 1 through 25 is what you can do, and this is what we do, we actually have this pasted on our wall. Mm-hmm. And so when I get a new consumer, I write them down in that, that slot on 1 through 25. Now, if I should get a consumer that drops out, then I look and say, geez, I really have a goal to keep 25 consumers in my business. Now I need to go find another consumer to replace the one that's dropped out. And then the same with your volume producers and your builders. As soon as you have somebody who's producing volume, and Kurt's going to explain more about that, you put that name in there, physically put that name in there. If you get somebody that drops out, then you know you need to go and replace that name.
Now, and here's a suggestion for that too. You might want to look and say, before I write a person's name in there, they must become, write this down, a product lover. Mm-hmm. Okay? So you've got a customer, and now you're working with them. What are you going to teach them how to do? Get product results. What happens if they get product results? They become a product lover. What happens if they're a product lover? They want the products the rest of their lives, okay? And if you've got 25 product lovers in there, you've got something powerful. And so that's your consumer group. So that's what you teach them. So a third thing we need to do is teach others how to build a consumer group. All right, second group we need to teach is your volume producer. A volume producer, these are people that you saw the ways we produce personal volume. Well, a volume producer is someone who wants to learn how to do that part of the business. And that has potential of going, some people make a really nice part-time or full-time income. Depends on how big you want that to get. That can be a pretty substantial income through developing. What do they need to learn? Mm-hmm. They need to learn how to develop a consumer group. Mm-hmm. Primarily. Mm-hmm. Does that cover it?
Yep, and you'll find people in your business who say, I really like the idea of coming into this business. I don't know if I want to do that whole thing and sponsor people and all that, but you know what, I love these products. I want to sell these products. Mm-hmm. And those are what we call volume producers. They really love the products. They're happy to sell them to their friends and family or customers, however they find them, but they really don't, for whatever reason, think that they want to sponsor people. And those people are absolutely incredible people that you want in your business. Now, if any time along the line they say, you know what, I'm really getting the hang of this, I've really got this down, I can see me sponsoring somebody in this business, and they want to move into a builder stage, great. But volume producers are people who basically say, you know what, I'm happy to build my business, I'm happy to have a business just by retailing to customers and wholesaling products to customers, but that's all I want to do, and great.
Now, if you're brand new in the business, don't get hung up that you have to be a major teacher and understand all this. When we're talking about teach them what they need to know, it's pretty simple. They're going to learn it from the STSs. They're going to learn it. Your sponsorship line may have training programs that's going to help them learn. The main thing is, when you teach, 3 things we do: use the products, create personal volume, teach others. When you teach others, as long as you teach what you learn as you learn it to someone else who wants to learn it, it will build. Mm-hmm. Remember the alphabet? Learn A first, then learn B, then learn C. Later you'll learn words, and now reading is like second nature.
Yeah,
Same concept
I
here.
remember when I first, I was a customer first, and I was buying the products from my sponsor, and then as I decided that we wanted to do we decided we wanted to do the business, and I talked to my sponsor about that. And one of our first conversations was he brought up some ingredient, and I remember walking out of there thinking, I'll never be able to learn this. Oh my gosh, you have to know all these different ingredients, and you have to know what they do and what's in what, and I was very afraid because I thought, I'll never get this. And now it's like the back of my hand, I know it, but
But you never had to teach that either. What did you teach? She taught people.
I taught what I learned.
And I remember when those first consumers, what you taught was, I use these products, I feel great, the energy is unbelievable, I lost 30 pounds. That's what you taught,
yep.
and that's how we got our consumers.
And that was simple. And then, of course, as you need to know, you begin to learn more and more as you go along. Mm-hmm. So, okay, we made $1 million last year. I didn't even think I could even learn what the products were when I first started. So
it's phenomenal. So your consumer or your volume producer group, really, they just need to be taught how to develop a consumer group. So once follow the progression here. Once you can teach someone how to get results on the product, you're building your consumer group. Now you know how to build a consumer group. even if you've only built one. So when someone wants to learn how to be a volume producer, you just teach them how to get a consumer group. Pretty simple. Teach them how to do what you did. And then that third group that we all need to build is, if we want to get, this is the key to royalties. Okay, those first two will give you the product, that first form of income we talked about, the product sales-based income and commission. Okay, but this third group is a real key to royalty. And the third group is builders, those who want to get wealthy, create financial independence. They need to learn how to build all three of these groups. Okay, and don't worry, we'll get more into that one. There will be other shows to this series that go a little more in depth on that, but this is kind of the fundamentals at this stage. So, should we take a look at how this all ties together?
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Okay, let's look at this. So with all those fundamentals we just went through, we want to talk about how it really fleshes out in your business. Okay, so let's look at an example here where you're taking those three things we all need to do, and the first thing you start doing is you use the products. So you're doing everything, you're cleaning the competitor stuff out of the house, and then you're going to go to work and start building those three groups. Now, as you're building your consumer group, let's move forward in time a little bit to the point where you've got 2,500 volume points being produced every month in your business. Okay? And that's going to be the foundational note we're going to make here. Now, you can build all of these groups at the same time if you want. You can build a consumer group first, get it done, and then build a volume producer group, get it done, and then build the builder group if you want. Or you can build two of them at once, or you can look for people in all three groups at the same time, which is the fastest way to go, as long as you're looking for people in all three groups and ready to teach them what they need to know as they go. So let's say, though, your goal is going to be to seek 5 people who want to join your builder group who also want to build all three groups. And you're going to teach them to find ultimately 5 who want to do the same as they build these other groups to get up to 2,500 volume points. Let's move forward in your business to the point where now you're a supervisor and you've got that personal volume going of 2,500, and by the time you've sponsored 5 who will do the same 3 things, use the products, create personal volume, and teach others to the point where they're at 2,500 volume points. Let's look at that first level. And what you'd be doing in your business there is your income between retail, wholesale, and royalty can add up to about $1,875. Okay? About $1,800 at that stage. Now, because those first 5 you've taught them, you're teaching them how to do what you do, what did you do? You've sponsored 5 and taught 5 yourself how to do this, so you're going to teach them to do the same. So now they're going to, what's that magic word? They're going to duplicate this thing. So let's look at the point where now you teach them how to get their groups to the point where they've each only found 4 people to fill their builder group. And by the time each of them is at 2,500 personal volume points, at that stage of building, your income between royalty and retail and wholesale can be in the neighborhood of about $5,600, $5,625 to be exact. So you start to see the power of duplication multiply out. Now let's take that one step further. I mean, they're still building. Maybe you want to get more than that. Maybe you don't. But this is an example to show you how it works. Now by the time those 20 in what we call your second level that you get paid royalty on, by the time they have only duplicated this to the point where they found 3 that have produced their groups up to the point of 2,500 per month, your income now can be up to $24,625, and your president's team.
Per month.
Per month. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And that's when this thing isn't even built. And you saw what portion of that is coming from consumer shifting. I mean, this is mind-boggling. It's powerful. So that you be president's team just by that point. The key is, can you just learn these simple 3 things, how to do them? Can you teach them to a handful of people who want to learn how to do them? And then make sure they're teach them how to teach it to their people. It's powerful. Let's take this one